Hey, Mr. Sir, your camera is off.
Okay, how do you want to start it? Tell me.
Yeah, please. Your camera is off. Let us see you.
Yeah.
Good
How
evening.
do you want me to start? Tell me.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine. Thank you. Tell me. How do you want me to start?
Absolutely fine. And welcome to Vision India at 75 series. We started in December 2020 and 120 episodes completed. 70 compendium of top 500 leaders. You are the 71st person. We will be speaking on the startups issue. We will touch upon as a monologue from your side for 10 minutes. Over to you, Mr. Mohan, the Brahma of startups of India.
Folks, thank you very much. I want to put before you what is happening in the startup scene today. India has 55,000 startups today. They have created $350 billion of value, 72 unicorns today, employing 50 lakh people. From 2014 till 2020, total investment was $70 billion. This year, there's already an investment of $21 billion. By the end of the year, the number of unicorns can go up from 72 to either 75 or 80. Total investment this year can go up from 25 to $30 billion. From 2021 beginning, that is January, till 2025 December, we believe between 150 billion to 200 billion will be invested. By 2025 December, India will have more than 1 lakh startups. They will create $1 trillion of value, and we will have at least 200 unicorns, employing 35 lakh people. The biggest growth ever in India's history in a short period of time is happening in startups all over. Now, why is this happening in such a big way? It's happening in such a big way because we are in the midst of the digital revolution. Let us go back to history to understand what this means. 250 years ago, China and India were the largest economies, the richest countries in the world. We were 45% of the world GDP. Then started the industrial revolution led by the invention of the steam engine. And the steam engine was invented in Great Britain. Why did it happen? Because Europe traded with South America for gold and silver by the Spanish and the Portuguese between 1500 till later date, and they took away the money, they looted that place. Britain and the Netherlands traded with Asia, took away spices and created more profits. The money accumulated there in Europe, and very soon there was innovation, there was prosperity, and the invention of steam engine led to the rise of motive power. Now machines could do many things that human beings could do. One machine could do what 100 people could do, and it could work 24/7. It did not ask for more wages, and it was very productive, and quality was ensured. That meant the factory kind of production came in, and the industrial revolution started. So from 1800 to 1900, Europe became the largest part of the world economically, and Asia declined. Now, 20 years ago, happened, and that is the internet and the start of the digital revolution. Today, or maybe even 5 years ago, the world was controlled by people who control the global supply chain, the supply chain that linked consumers to markets through transportation, pipelines, oil, through retail, wholesale, financial services, warehouses, etc. That's because if you want to do business, you need a consumer, and the consumer can be only through the distribution chain. Then we are seeing right now that we are in the midst of the digital revolution, where technology is in the front end. And technology being in the front end, you will find that the consumers and producers come together globally through the internet. If you look at data, out of the 7.8 billion people in the world, 6 billion people have a mobile connection, nearly 5 billion people are on the internet, and 4.5 billion people are on social media. So when you are on the internet, you get connections to everybody at a very low cost. That means producers and consumers can be in the internet, and new business forms can come. You can download music, you can get health education, you can get entertainment, you can get so many things. You can have e-commerce selling your goods from all corners of the world. And then supply chain goes to the back end. And this is going to change global business. This is going to change everything we do. This is going to change the way we behave and deal with each other. And when COVID came and the world was shut down, everybody went on to Zoom or went on to video to do business. Travel stopped, retail stopped. We got deliveries at home. We consulted doctors doing video, children in education through video, etc. And you've seen the change, and that is a stupendous change. And that change is being driven by startups. As startups are changing the way we do business, startups are changing the way we interact with each other, and startups are getting great value. But the only thing is, Indians should invest in the startup sector to create greater wealth for themselves. Out of $70 billion that has come in, only 10% is Indian money. And that's the biggest danger that we face today. And this story is happening on the back of the Indian software service industry. Right from 91, when India opened up, the software service industry has grown. This year, India will export $170 billion of software. We'll export more software than oil exported by Saudi Arabia, the world's largest producer of oil, largest exporter of oil. And we have more than 75,000 IT companies. The IT industry is about $225 billion this year. They employ 50 lakh people. They're creating 5 lakh jobs. Of the top 10 software service companies, the market value, 5 are Indian. Of the top 5, 3 are Indian. Of the 28 lakh employees, the top 10, 20 lakh are Indian. There are 60 lakh software professionals in America, 10 lakh are Indian. Of the 50 lakh people working in India, 25 lakh work for American companies. Of the 85 lakh working for American companies globally, 35 lakhs are Indians. So we dominate this industry. And this is what has created the base on which a lot of technology people are available to work in the startup industry. And that is creating the wave. India is the third largest system of startups in the world. And we are both consumers and producers of apps. There are only 3 countries which are large-scale producers and consumers of apps: the United States, China, and India. And if you look forward, growth in the sector is going to be very, very large all over. And most of the startups are concentrated in Bangalore. Number 2 is Noida, Gurgaon, Delhi, and 3 is Bombay, and 4th is Hyderabad and Chennai. And they're all in urban areas because that is where the talent is. And in this industry, talent is what is going to make the big difference. And wherever there are people, high quality technical people, the industry will come and the industry will dominate. So I think there's a great hope for all young people who are going to get good jobs and will do extremely well, driven by innovation, driven by technology, driven by artificial intelligence, etc. And technology also is going to change. Cost of data has come down with the lowest cost of data. We consume 16 GB of data every month for every individual. And we also have a very large number of talented people. Like I said, with cloud technology, the cost of storing data has come down. With artificial intelligence, much more work is getting automated and efficiency is coming in. It's going to hurt jobs for a period of time. That is true. And with robotics and 3D printing, we'll be able to improve productivity, do things much, much better. All this is driving the digital revolution that is sweeping the world. So we are in the midst of the digital revolution, just like the industrial revolution started 250 years ago. And the next 10 years, this is going to take much more deeper roots, and this is transforming the world all over. And COVID was an inflection point because in the shutdown or the lockdown, people migrated to the digital world, and we are seeing explosive growth. And that is the story of startups in India. Thank you.
Mr. Pai, 2 small questions. We've got 2 more minutes left. One is, what are your views on a bank just like in the lines of SIDBI, which we have for the small scale industries? And second question, like the NSDC supports the skill development ecosystem, it was formed in 2008. What are your views on having a corporation in the same lines which is supporting the startup ecosystem? Nothing mentioned in the startup policy as per the minister also.
No, I think what we need is more funds, not bank money, because banks cannot fund this kind of businesses. Banks are there to fund working capital. These companies don't have too much of working capital because they accept payments immediately. So I think we require more funds to make sure that more investment takes place. And we don't require a national skill foundation or something to create skilled people for this industry. They will hire and train people themselves. We don't need anything from the government in that area. Government will do something because they want to provide jobs to the local people. That will happen, but we don't require anything. The National Skill Foundation has not been very successful because it is based on input and not output. It must be output based. There's a problem in the model, and I don't think they're going to make a